Hello, I'm Reverend Rick, and it is my honor to be with you today. We really hope that this video is a blessing to you. And if it is, please consider making a donation. People watch our videos locally when they cannot necessarily come to church throughout the United States and the world. So please join us and click the link below and make a donation. Thank you, and let this be a blessing to you.
Let us prepare ourselves. If you just put your hand over your eyes. I open my eyes to see the spiritual truth today.
I open my eyes to see the spiritual truth today.
And over your ears to hear the spiritual truth today.
I open my ears to hear the spiritual truth today.
And over your heart, and just extend out your arms. I open my heart to receive the spiritual truth today.
I open my heart to receive the spiritual truth today.
The spiritual truth today that I'm working with is the mind that is the illumined mind that is in Lord Buddha, the loving mind that is in Jesus the Christ, the courageous mind that is in Muhammad, the willing mind that is in Moses is in your mind too. It's in your mind too. You know, that mind is the mind of God, and it's the mind that can restore illness to people who are not feeling well. It's the mind that can provide guidance to teenagers who are in trouble. It's the same mind that can restore families that have been fractured for years over some stupid remark that was 10 years ago old, but people still aren't talking to each other. That's the mind that can restore that. It's the mind that can restore our paralysis of confusion. When we keep saying, I'm confused, I don't know, I'm confused, I don't know, that's the mind that can restore that paralysis and show us our next step. It's God's mind. And God's mind is in you and in me right now. We are not all of God, but God is all of us. And that's hard for us to really wrap our heads around, I think. It is for me anyway. Because until I can say out loud in front of other people, even out loud to myself, I am God, I don't have it. I don't have it yet. So we're going to practice right now. Will you say, I am God?
I am God.
Say it again. I am God.
I am God.
One more time.
I am God.
See, whenever I say that, I've been in metaphysics for 30 years, and I believe it with my head. I don't have it internalized. I don't have it embodied all the way yet. I still have this feeling that Sister Mary Margaret's going to come, not with a ruler, but with a 2x4 right behind my head. But the truth is, we are God. We are not all of God, but God is all of us. And you know what? That's hard wisdom for us to swallow. It's powerful wisdom, and when we're in the company of powerful wisdom, we have to be very responsible with it. Those of us who are in recovery, who started our spiritual journey back to knowing a loving God through the 12 steps, some of us, especially those of us who recovered from alcoholism, we heard our sponsors wisely say to us, look, you want to get this monkey off your back? There are two things you need to know. The first one is there is a God. The second one, you're not in. And that was wise because they understood that we were working with our egoic mind at the time. We were trying to control people, places, and things because we thought we were the same as God. Not with our soul, but with our egoic mind in our lives. We were trying to control other people and ourselves. And we often made a mess of those things. See, God within is not trying to control me. And God within is not trying to control you. Sometimes I wish there was a God who could control me, who could take me by the nape of the neck and saying, you don't go there. That is not anywhere for you to be going. You come back over here. But there is no God like that. I am always at choice. Always at choice. And whenever I'm at choice and I make a decision, God will always say yes. See, our work is to make better choices in our life. Our work is to begin to understand that there is always a choice. And when we're faced with something, we're faced with going someplace that our gut is telling us not to go, but our feet are just moving as quick as we can over there, to remember, no, wait, I have a choice. I don't have to go there. I can stay here, or I can go even back over there. I'm so glad that I hear now, when I hear teachers talk, I hear them say to little kids, was that the best choice you could have made? They're beginning to introduce this idea that we're always a choice. You know, Jimmy, was there another choice you could have made before you split Rogelio's lip? Is that possible? Because we're seeing it over and over and over again. Well, I'm working right now with a new book, not a new book, a very old book, called Science of Mind, that I work with sometimes. Many of you have read, and if you've taken foundations, you've studied the book called Science of Mind. It's the book that outlines the entire philosophy that we study here. And those of you who have read this book know that for most of us, not all of us, but for most of us, it is an acquired taste. It is not an easy book to plow through because of the way he writes. Although it's beautiful, you have to learn its beauty. This is totally different. This is a series of essays that are written quite easily and easy to read. They're essays on many different parts of our life, on divorce, on success, on health, on all kinds of different things. And they're usually 1 or 2 pages. So you can see a book this thick has a lot of essays in it. Also in this book is a list of 13 beliefs that we have. It's called What We Believe. And what we believe is what I have boiled down from 13 to 4 that you hear every week. You should thank me a lot for that. I should get a raise for that. Now I just took my bookmark out of it. So today we're gonna break down the 13th belief that we have. And it is this, and it'll be on the board. I'm going to read it out of the book. We believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life of man is God. We believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life of man is God. Now, it's based on this agreement, and we have to make this agreement to really be able to break this down and get it and embody this spiritual understanding. We have to have this agreement. When I say the life of God is man, I am not talking about a ruler. I'm not talking about a prime minister. I'm not talking about a king. I'm not talking about the president of the United States or any other place. I am talking not about a formed being, but about an essence, an energy of love, of goodness in our life. So any of you who might have any little fiefdoms going on, don't go home and say, Reverend Georgia, finally confirmed, I am God. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about an energy for good. I'm talking about an energy for good. The life of man and the life of woman is an energy of compassion, of abundance, of creativity. When I say I am God, I mean I am compassion. I am the energy of good. I am love. I am creativity. That's not so hard for us to wrap our mind around. Whenever we're feeling uncomfortable with saying, I am God, know this, you have just reverted back to a controlling God. When you understand that when we say, I am the energy of love and compassion and good, that's easy for us to do, or easier for us to do. And when we walk into a room from that energy, from that alignment with God in that way, there's nothing we can't do, be, or give. There is nothing we can't do, be, or give when we walk from that place. So let's break this down into little bits. Even this short part, let's break it down into little bits. Our belief in our own soul, our belief in our own spirit, When we believe in our own spirit and our own soul, we believe in the shared soul of God. We believe in the shared soul of God in our life. See, we stop telling God how big our problems are, and we start telling our problems how big our God is, because we understand it. We understand that we are filled with abundance. We are filled with love. We are filled with creativity of next steps in our life. And then we come from a place of solution, not of the problem. We become the head, not the tail. We become the victor, not the victim in our life. We start operating from a place of power in our life. We begin expressing who we are, and that is formed beings of God in our life. Formed beings of God. See, so anybody who's here this morning and wringing your hands, I do that sometimes. Who am I still at my age? I say, who am I? What am I really sent here to be? Am I doing what I'm sent here to be? Understand is, I have the answer to that question. If you're wondering who you are a formed being of God. You don't have to pay anybody, you don't have to go to therapy, you don't have to do anything. You are I've got the answer. You are a formed being of God. That's the identity in your life. Now, how you show up as this formed entity of God, this formed individualized God, is important. And when you're in alignment and you find out what that is, how it is that you show up, and some of us already know it because we're in our bliss. But if you're still looking for it, know that when you're in alignment with it, you need to trust it. See, I grew up in Sonoma County, and there was often a phrase, I thought it originated in Sonoma County, and that was, do your own thing. You know, and all the communes in Sebastopol that I either lived on or visited or ran through or did something with, they would always say, do your own thing. It's time to do your own thing. Remember that? You have to be at a certain age to do that. But if you're not of that age, let me tell you, we all said, do your own thing. And we thought that we were quite clever with it. But here's the thing. It originated not from a commune in Sonoma County. It originated from Ralph Waldo Emerson's essay on self-reliance. Do your own thing. Do your own thing. See, he wasn't talking about, when he wrote that essay on self-reliance, he wasn't talking about the self that's still caught up in how we were parented. Were we parented enough? Were we not parented enough? We weren't caught. It's not talking about the self that's the parent worried about, did I parent well enough? Did I not parent well enough? He's not talking about the person who doesn't have a grasp on romance. He's not talking about any of that. He's talking about the capital S self. That self that is within you, that is shared soul of God, that we can begin to recognize in our life. See, Emerson understood this. He understood that the union of God and man must be made in consciousness before demonstration can be made. So if what you want is to demonstrate something in your life right now, begin to work not on the outer, but on this idea that I share the soul of God. Begin to work with this idea that you have creativity, compassion, abundance, and everything you need within you right now in mind. Remember, the same mind that is in Christ Jesus is in you. The same mind that is in Oprah Winfrey is in you right now. And when we begin to understand the union of God and man, that's when we begin to demonstrate in our life. See, when we can begin to embody today's principle, we understand that we are the soul of compassion. We understand what happened. We don't get mad about the shooting. We get sad, but we don't get mad. We understand what happened here. We understand how bereft this man was of who he really is. We don't get mad. We get compassionate in our life. We embody our own sense of compassion how we show up in that is based in what interests our hearts, what makes our hearts sing. And that should be determined only by you. Let me say that again. How you demonstrate God, how you are the God that you are, how you are the God. No question that you're the God. That's not up for debate. That's not even up for discussion. But how you show up as God is up to you. It's what makes your heart sing. It's what makes you feel right in the world. You know, Emerson said this. He said, I hope I've heard the last of conformity. I hope I've heard the last of conformity. So you decide what kind of work you want to do. You decide what your retirement is going to look like. You decide what size your body should be. You decide how your soul is going to minister to other people in your life. You decide what your relationship is going to look like. You know, there are still some of us who are allowing our parents to tell us how it is that we want to live in our life. Even those who've gone beyond the veil, we're still trying to please them. It's time for you to say, I'm going to do my own thing now. It's time for me to do my own thing. I have friends who've gone to law school. A friend who went to law school, she graduated cum laude. She was a very brilliant lawyer. She did it for 8 months. Her husband put her through school. She did it for 8 months. She came home and she said, honey, I can't even go back one more day. I just can't do this. I can't live in that kind of conflict. It's not me. I can't do it. Now, he was not too happy. But he loved her. And he said, okay, she went back to school. She's an MFCC therapist now, thriving, loves it, loves her work, happy with patients, patients happy with her, because she's doing what's right for her. See, sometimes we go to school in a field and we come out of that field and we think we have to do that the rest of our life because what we did to get through it. You don't have to do that. You can do your own thing. I have friends in ministry who went through seminary and who took a pulpit. And at the end of a couple of months, they said, I can't do this anymore. I can't wring out one more damn sermon in my life. I just can't do that. There are other ways for them to do ministry. There are other ways to show love of God through them. And they're doing that now, and they're very, very happy. See, you're not here to fulfill anybody else's dream. You're here to be God on the planet. And God doesn't want any fake. God wants authentic. God wants what makes your heart sing. You have everything you need right now to make your decision and to act based on this union of the shared soul of God. See, we believe in our own soul, our own spirit. And when we stop and let somebody else, either society or our culture or our childhood religion, decide for us how we should be God, we've just failed ourselves. And we failed the world. Because the world needs us with our hearts singing to be present. See, maybe you're 70 years old today and you want to go out and buy a motorcycle and your family's having a fit. Do it anyway. Maybe you're somebody who wants to get online on one of these dating sites and everybody in your family is telling you about serial murderers who show up on the dating sites. Do it anyway. It's time for us to be able to do our own thing on this planet. You and God are a majority. You and God are a majority. And when we understand that, we understand life at a deeper, deeper, deeper level. When Ernest Holmes says we believe in our own soul and our own spirit, he's not suggesting that we don't seek guidance outside of ourselves. Not suggesting that at all. You may need guidance from addiction recovery, from one addiction or another. Get it. You may need guidance on how to invest money. Get it. You may need guidance on a medical condition in your life. Get it. You may need guidance around spirituality. Get it. You may need guidance around how to make your marriage work better. Get it. He's not saying don't get it. He's saying trust your own soul. And after you get that guidance, go off into the stillness by yourself and feel what's coming up. If what's coming up is it's right but hard, do it anyway. There's not a mother in this room that will tell you that giving birth was easy. Giving birth is not easy all the time. But we want to take that risk. You know, there's nothing more beautiful than our babies. You saw McConaughey out here. That's a beautiful thing. Whenever we give birth, whether it's to a human being or an idea or a next step for ourselves, sometimes it's hard. Persevere through it. Do it. Keep doing it. Believe in yourself. Because you have everything you need to manifest that which you want right now. Let's take this message into prayer. Knowing that there's only one power. It's the power of love that heals all things. As our chaplain said, it heals hate. It heals everything. Love. We hold ourselves responsible for more love. Not reaction, not response, but love. And just love. No matter what it looks like on the outside, it's a call for love, and we are love warriors. We can do it. I give thanks for that. I release this word into the law, together we say, and so it is.